Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today was a little messy to start, but it was an amazing day the way it finished. In fact, I would define today as the day that the foundation hardened for the memory sector. We saw the retail crowd chase ghosts today. There were rumors floating around Nvidia potentially acquiring HP, acquiring Dell. Capital was rotating that way, created a lot of noise, but smart money did something different. Smart money did something significant. It fortified the storage sector. It fortified memory overall. SanDisk exploded today with a 12% growth. The storage players seem to set a new high every time they trade now. And today was no different. We got a new 52-week high for both Western Digital and Seagate. And Micron survived a brutal morning dip this morning where it pushed back down to almost 400 a share, but then came roaring back and finished the day at 426. What was the sentiment that shifted in the last 2 hours of trading for Micron? We're going to discuss that. We're also going to move in and do a deep dive autopsy, a deep dive analysis on all four of the memory titans. We're going to review the performance of all of the Fab Four, what moved them today, why the BiCS8 revolution is so important to SanDisk, the sold out status through 2028 for the storage players. What does it mean? Why is it driving such bullish returns for those stocks? And then we're going to look at the reversal for Micron today. What was the sentiment that changed in the last 2 hours of trading that could mean everything for Micron for the rest of the week? And finally, the most important part, the part that you have to stay on, is I'm going to address the question of what should we do when SanDisk crosses the $1,000 threshold tomorrow? Because, guys, it is going to happen. Be prepared. We're going to look at a stock that was at $27 a share in April of last year, is going to move over $1,000 a share. How should we play it? I'm going to cover that in depth at the back end of the video, so make sure you hang on and watch all the way through the end. If you haven't done it already, hit like, hit subscribe to the channel. Guys, I'm trying to cross 6,000 subscribers by the end of this month. I appreciate your support, and I will ask, if you haven't subscribed yet, if you find value in this channel, if you've learned something, just hit subscribe. I want you to be here. I want to engage with each and every one of you. I want to answer all your questions. So do me a favor, hit subscribe to the channel. Let's see if we can reach that goal of 6,000 by the end of the month. Let's dive in. Let's talk about our first one, the most alpha stock of the day. No question about it. SanDisk exploded today with an 11.8% growth. It has been on a parabolic tear. Let me just show you. Let me pull up a 5-minute candle pattern chart you can see here for SanDisk just to break down the performance of the day. In fact, I've got to pull it up here, guys, because you can't see. You wouldn't be able to see the first 5-minute candle if I didn't pull it up because that volume is so high right out of the gate for SanDisk. It had a classic gap up and go to start. Get up and go, as I call it. Almost a $30 jump, over a $30 jump in the first 5 minutes from where we closed on Friday to where we opened today. And it continued to move. It moved all the way up to about the 10:45 hour where it hit a high of 917. We had a little sideways consolidation through that period, probably a little bit of profit taking when we hit that pace because people, I mean, once you get over 900, that was a number. Wait till we get to 1,000 tomorrow. That's a different psychological number. I think we're going to see some movement there, a little bit of profit taking as well. But look at the finish. Such strong conviction. This is huge accumulation. Look at the volume down below. Just all of the buying, the bullish pattern that we saw in the complete afternoon today for SanDisk. It closed at $9.52 a share. You can see overall, it was a strong today, $100 a share today performance. Outstanding. It was, like I say, almost 12% growth overall. It moved significantly. You can see here that they're calling out. I'm going to show you a new price target because Evercore put out a new price target today. I'm going to talk about that in a moment, but this is really just talking about its addition to the NASDAQ 100 next week. That will also be a sign for the stock where I think we'll have a little bit of gap up when it moves over and gets included in the NASDAQ 100 overall. But guys, it was a strong day today for SanDisk. There's no question about it. The biggest driver I think that I saw today was the BiCS8. I mentioned it in the opening, the BiCS8 revolution. It accounts for 15% of all bits shipped by SanDisk now, and it's on track to be the majority by the end of the year. It's a great sign for the company because it shows they'll have stronger pricing power. It'll help drive the margins higher. I mean, this is a company in Q1 where we saw margins move up to 30%, where it was formerly in the 20%. Q2 results, they moved to about 50% margins. Now we're projecting they guided in Q3 to be mid 60s, maybe 67% margins. This is a transformation story with this company. The new price target we saw was from Evercore. They set a price target today of $1,200 a share. Guys, the $1,000 is not a pipe dream anymore for SanDisk. Seems like every price target right now is 1,000 or higher. You know, we saw Bernstein set it at 1,250. Now you have Evercore set today at 1,200. So when you see a stock that had such a movement that we did today, and it closed at 952, and you continue to see this strong support with Wall Street, with new price targets. We're seeing massive moves in the after hour right now with SanDisk as well. It gives me all the faith that this stock is going to pass 1,000 tomorrow. But as we approach that $1,000 psychological threshold or milestone, I would say, I think we should expect a bit of a magnet effect. When you see it touch that way, when you see it cross over 1,000, I think we'll see some profit taking. There's no question about it. People will be anxious. They'll be nervous and worried that the stock won't be able to hold up beyond that. And we'll see some profit taking, but I think we'll see support as well. Because here's the thing. You guys know next week on Monday, SanDisk officially joins the NASDAQ 100. So this means that every QQQ tracking ETF must buy the stock this week. They've got to load up and get ready for that stock as it gets rolled over into the NASDAQ 100 next week. If you sell tomorrow when it crosses over the 1,000 barrier, you are selling before the largest wave of forced institutional buying in this company's history. Between the NASDAQ movement and the Evercore target today, I think the fundamental floor has moved up. We're going to continue to see support. I'm going to cover this as well at the end of the video. I'm going to give you some more details and more specific strategies for each individual investor. So make sure you hang on there. But let's go over and let's take a look at Western Digital and Seagate next. You can see Western Digital was a little bit of a different story, right? Not as clear as much support. It actually did face a little bit of selling pressure in the day today. Let me pull it over, guys. Sorry. I think we ended right here. A little nice strong candle, but then it kind of jumped out of the gate. Look at that strong support right there in that first candle, but it did face some pressure. It pushed down here to a low of 339 a share. But then the nice thing is you see we just got these higher highs as we move throughout the day. You know, jumped up. It jumped up again. We had these nice rounded bottoms to finish the day. So here you see a nice rounded bottom, but also right here at the end into the close, a nice rounded bottom, a nice sign of support right into the last 15 minutes or so of the trading session. And you can see the volume down here below showing that conviction into the close. It was driven by a couple things. One is they confirmed that their Q3 results their prints will hit the street on April 30th. But they also got a new price target from Citigroup. Citigroup moved them from 335 to 405 today and maintained their buy overall. So strong kind of support for the stock. RSI looks good. It's not overbought. It's kind of hanging in that maybe a little high neutral phase overall. But I would say this was a nice move for the stock today. Closed at just over the 350 range. So set a new 52-week high. And we'll look at Seagate as well. Very similar for Seagate. So you can see Seagate, not as much choppiness in the morning. You know, didn't really have that big selling pressure. Maybe here in the first, we had a little bit of dip down, but pretty much sideways consolidation for Seagate today, except for the end. A nice rally at the end. Very similar to what we're going to see with Micron. A good rounded bottom also for Seagate on the finish. And look at the volume down below. Look at that volume support and right at the close for Seagate. Great sign going into tomorrow. And here they also received a new price target from Citigroup. Citigroup moved them from 480 to 595. So strong support overall. I think with both of these memory players, the thing we have to remember is the fact that they are sold out through 2028. They're massive support with the cold storage needs within the data centers. I mean, we have moved from the storage players probably being an afterthought maybe a year ago to now being a critical member of the AI infrastructure build out. I mean, they are massively important to the hyperscalers. And there's a few things I'll call out. First, with Western Digital, that we saw the stock get up over 350 today, a new 52-week high, as I mentioned. It is all based on the long-term agreements. The fact that they are sold out through 2026 and their CEO just confirmed that the top 7 hyperscaler customers have already signed long-term agreements with Western Digital stretching into 2028. So if you're a mid-tier data center right now and you don't have a contract in place with Western Digital, you need to get to the back of the line because it's going to be a while before you can get some of their storage products. And when you look at Seagate, Seagate's biggest thing is really it's their HAMR technology, it's the Mosaic 4, the validation that we're going through. We have to remember what differentiates these two companies is Seagate went for the HAMR technology sooner. They are ahead of Western Digital. Western Digital is trying to scale that up right now because they're both racing to the 100 terabit drive. But the HAMR technology right now, the Mosaic 4 Plus that Seagate provides to the market, it passed its final qualification testing today with 2 of the leading hyperscale cloud providers. That's the rumor on the street. HAMR right now is the only way to reach 44 tetrabytes and on a path to 100 terabyte drives. Seagate's vertically integrated photonics that they have, so literally the lasers that are used to write the data, may be the most competitive moat that they have, and it's going to be a while before Western Digital can catch up into this space. So that's why you see a little bit of a higher valuation for Seagate in the market overall, but both of these guys, they are massively important. What we're witnessing right now is the great storage squeeze. With AI generating massive amounts of data, more than we've ever seen, and will continue on this way for years to come. These boring hard disk drive companies, who what we thought were boring, may in fact now be some of the most critically important customers for the hyperscalers and critically important stocks and companies for the AI build out overall. Let's jump over and talk about Micron, because this is the stock that I love on this channel. You guys know it's the one I was following today because it just didn't look like it was going to have a great day when all of the other companies were soaring and just putting up strong performance throughout the day. Micron was a little different. So you can see out of the gate, definitely faced some pressure right from the get-go. I mean, we closed last week at 420 and immediately opened up today at about 416. So it was down from the start. Very different than the other memory players. Obviously, SanDisk is in a world of its own. This was very different and faced pressure, and it actually pushed down in the first 20 minutes to get to about 408. So we started to think, okay, what's going on? Are we going to try to break that 400 level again? Are we trying to break through the floor? The nice thing is we found support, but again, every time we found a little support, there was some pressure that came again, a little bit of, maybe some algorithmic selling, maybe some weak hands from retail investors, not sure. But we did see a nice rally here right through the day, got back up to about the 420 level, just under where we closed, but again, pushed down, faced support, faced a resistance again, and got down into this 410 level. And so it just looked like this is what we were going to see today. We were going to see Micron have just a down day. There wasn't any real sentiment, any positive news that was breaking through that changed the trajectory of the stock. But then it changed right about the 2 o'clock in the Eastern time, 145 overall. You can look at that massive finish. Look at the volume underneath on how the institutional accumulation, the institutional conviction that we had here through the finish was amazing to see. The biggest story or the rumor overall, I think, was the news regarding their high bandwidth 4, the sampling yields that they've given to Nvidia for the Vera Rubin. The rumor that began to circulate was that Micron had passed that test, and they're already in volume production of the 12 high stack HBM4 with pin speeds that are hitting over the 11 gigabits per second. So this is what is being rumored right now to drive that stock up. In addition to that, we did see a new price target come on. So KeyBank did move their price target to 600 for Micron, and they confirmed a overweight rating overall for the stock. So that also, guys, remember, this stock rate is 426. We have price target of 600, significant upside from KeyBank. We continue to see significant upside with Micron. I believe that Micron is going to break through the 430 level tomorrow. Let's jump over and just see what's happening in the after hours. So first, here, let me go to Micron first, just because we talked about it. I'm just talking about it. And you can see that Micron is, in fact, pushing towards, actually, it's over. Guys, it's really moved in the after hours. I was just looking at it a little earlier ago, and it was still under the 430, but now we're up to 2%, $8 more on the board, 434 trading right now. So I'm going to confirm my conviction again that we'll be over 430 tomorrow for Micron. This stock is just being held back unnecessarily. I think we're going to see it move because of just the amount of upside potential it has, the amount of demand it has in the market, everything we've shared before on the channel. But the other piece I want to share with you too is just SanDisk. So take a look at SanDisk, what we see right now. Guys, it's happening. It's at $9.90 a share right now. $38 on the board in the after hours, another 4%. Look what it did in the day session. $100 a share, 12%. This stock has been amazing. It's been great to see. I'm going to come back and give you my strategy in a moment, but let's just round out the group for after hours. Western Digital closed at 350, like we mentioned, pushing up another 7 3/4, another over 2%, pushing towards 358 a share. It's going to be another 52-week high for that stock tomorrow as well. I'm feeling the same with Seagate. Seagate, again, strong support right now. Another $7, almost another 2% on the board. After putting up $10, this stock has been on fire recently. There's no question about it. The last 6 trading sessions for Seagate have been phenomenal. Amazing performance we're seeing right now in the after hours for all of them. Huge institutional support for all of these stocks. Great reversal from Micron today. Loved it. SanDisk was in a story of its own. It's going to pass the 1,000 threshold tomorrow. So let's talk about that. What should we do once it hits the $1,000 threshold tomorrow? So I think you will see a pullback. If it goes over 1,000, you'll see a bit of a pullback, but we'll see support right away. It's not a trend reversal if it comes back. It's reality. It's the market clearing out some weak hands that have been probably waiting for it to hit that round number for months now. Remember that we have an earnings call on April 30th. Forecasts are for a massive swing from last quarter. Remember, they guided to almost $4.4 billion, a huge growth over the last quarter of $3 billion. Massive jump in earnings per share, massive jump in gross margin. So if you sell at 1,000 tomorrow, you'll be missing the pre-earnings run throughout this month that analysts like that at Citi and Jefferies have been starting to bake into their prices already. So that's another piece that you very well could miss out. And you have the NASDAQ 100 front-running effect. So let's talk about that one right now, because that'll be a big one. Next week on April 20th, you have the index edition. This is when the stock joins the NASDAQ 100. You know that every ETF that tracks that index must buy the stock to match the weighting. We're talking about $600 billion or so in assets that are under management right now that have to carve out a spot for SanDisk. Historically, stocks that join the NASDAQ see a permanent gain in institutional ownership. This creates a higher floor for the stock. So if you sell at 1,000, you're selling before the largest wave of institutional buying in the company's history ever began. The overall verdict, I'll give you this. Is it a sell? Is it a hold, sell, trim for tomorrow or for SanDisk this week? Excuse me. If you're a short-term trader, I'm not. I'm a long-term trader. But if you're a short-term trader and you bought at the 800 or less ratio, and if your goal was to get a quick 25%, I think trimming 10 to 20% of your position, pay yourself, right? Reward yourself. It's never wrong to take a profit at a psychological milestone like the $1,000 mark. If you're an investor like me, what I'm planning to do, make sure you do your own research. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy with a lot of experience investing. I plan to hold between the Evercore 1200 price target that we saw, the NASDAQ 100 edition, and the forced buying. We'll see the momentum is still firmly behind the bulls right now. But remember, you can always put a stop loss guard in there. If we break 1,000, move your stop loss to 960. Lock in your gains while giving the stock a little room to breathe during this edition. SanDisk isn't a stock anymore. It's a core holding for the AI era now with the addition. Here's my advice again for tomorrow. Don't get distracted by the noise. The Nvidia denial of the PC buyout today, like everybody was chasing those ghosts. It's irrelevant to the storage cycle. Just ignore it. Watch the $1,000 level for SanDisk. If we break it, don't panic. Move your stops. Trust the NASDAQ edition. Trust that'll be a catalyst for the stock overall, and let the index do the heavy lifting for you on Friday. And remember the V recovery we saw with Micron today. The institutions showed their hand at 408. They want your shares. Don't have weak hands. Don't give those shares from Micron to the institutions. We are pushing for 6,000 subscribers on this channel, as you know, as I said. Hopefully we can do that by the end of the month. So if you found value in today's deep dive autopsy or analysis of the stock, hit that subscribe button, join the community, join the most data-driven memory channel on YouTube, period. I'll be watching the pre-action market tomorrow, and I'll drop a post If we see across the 1,000 threshold SanDisk, I'll give you guys an update in real time. I hope you enjoy your evening. Stay focused on the fundamentals, block out the noise as always, follow the signals, and I'll see you in the next video.